to bring us to Miami, particularly as we're all from Detroit, and Miami in December is a lot different than Detroit in December. So thank you very much for having us. What we're going to do tonight is give you a little bit of insight as to this significant day for us as becoming the Lincoln Motor Company. What does that mean as a brand? But more importantly, even what does this mean now to be able to show you what is our calling card for the new era of Lincoln, and that's going to be the 2013 Lincoln Mkz, of which we are very proud of. So tonight, what we're going to talk about is the brand with Kate Pierce, who is our Lincoln brand manager, Solomon Song, who is our Lincoln design manager, and Scott Tobin, who is our director of product development for Lincoln. So to get things going, please welcome my friend Kate Pierce.
Before I get going, we want to just show you a glimpse of what being the Lincoln Motor Company means to us. Now what we've got is what we call brand video, to really give you a sense of the essence of what the brand will represent going forward. This is a video that was just unveiled today. It's on our websites at lincoln.com, as well as our Facebook page. And it's meant to give consumers a bit of a glimpse into what they can expect from us once the MKZ hits showrooms, and also what they can expect to see in the next 4 vehicles coming out over the next 4 years. So let's go ahead and roll that video and we'll talk a little bit more.
This is a story about life. A journey defined by experiences, not riches. Driven by the unforgettable. By magic and wonder. Enabled by ingenuity. And the belief that every life has the possibility of many lives. We are forever reinventing ourselves. But sometimes we need to step out into the unknown. Trust your instincts. Remember where you came from. And then go somewhere completely new. Don't try to be all things to all people, but rather everything to a certain few. Celebrate the power of possibility. And don't forget to break the rules. Life is a journey. You might be surprised where it can take you.
So today, today was a very historic day for us. And it's really fortuitous that you all get to join us on a day when we're riding really high. Today we announced the reinvention has begun on a 90-year-old brand in the Ford Motor Company portfolio called the Lincoln Motor Company. It's extremely important to us as a brand identity, but it's also extremely important to us as a business entity. So first, what I'd like to share with you a bit is why it's so important. We've got a lot of momentum that's occurring in the global industry, in the premium industry space, not just here in the US, but across the world. And in fact, the global automotive industry in the luxury space is growing faster than the mass market brands. We expect 7.5% growth out of the luxury industry versus 4.5% out of the mass market. So it really is starting to gain momentum at a quicker and quicker pace. To give you a sense of what that means in terms of unit volume, 1% growth in global share over the next 5 years equates to 2.5 million sales. It's a huge opportunity that we cannot overlook as we look to our future and our One Ford mentality and growing Ford Motor Company's business. The other piece of the puzzle is that global growth means profitability for the company, especially when you talk about luxury automotive manufacturers. In the global space, we, even as Lincoln, at one point in our heyday, were contributing almost 8% of the corporate profits. That's down to about 4% today. So we really are working to continue to revive this brand, to continue to give our consumers, more importantly, a place to grow to as they look aspirationally towards the purchase of potentially their first luxury vehicle. It's a really critical component for us and something that we're proud to be here today to show you what we've done with the brand. Not only is the segment growing, it's also seeing a lot of shifts. It's a very dynamic space within the marketplace today. And there's a couple of key points that I want to bring out to you today, and a couple which speak directly to why the MKZ is really the face of the reinvention of the Lincoln brand. The first is that we're seeing significant change in the segments that are becoming most popular in luxury automotive space. In the past, those flagship premium large sedans were seen as the hallmark of a luxury brand. Those $150,000, $200,000 cars that everybody aspired to own. That's no longer the case. Post-recession, consumers are actually moving towards smaller vehicles. Small premium cars and utilities are the fastest growing segments within the luxury automotive space. And we're really starting to see a suppression or a compression of larger size sedans. The MKZ fits perfectly within that space and provides us with a key opportunity for growth. The other thing that we're seeing is a significant shift in terms of engine choice. It used to be that you couldn't have a luxury vehicle without a V8. No longer true. A lot of manufacturers are coming out with new engine surprising choices that combine fuel economy and performance. And you're going to see from Scott today that our choice of the 2-liter EcoBoost i4 is a prime opportunity for us to capture that very important market share change. We had actually recently commissioned a study with the Luxury Institute of America to better understand not just how the segment purchase changes are occurring, but what's changing within the mindset of our luxury owners as they go out and look to purchase their next luxury vehicle. And we found some things that have really signified a shift in how they've purchased. We've found that there is a growing group of consumers who are open to acquiring new brands. Just buying something because they've had it before is no longer the status quo. What they're looking for is a brand that can really engage them in new experiences. Take them on a journey that they've not taken on before. Work with them as a client as opposed to a number and a sales unit. They are buying for themselves. In the past, it was about a status symbol. I buy a BMW because everybody's going to think it's cool. These are customers who now say, what is it that I want? What is it that reflects my personal style, my personal choice, and that reflects to the world what I represent? They really do believe that warm, personal relationships are the key to a good business. These are customers who appreciate that you know who they are. You know when you purchased your car. They recognize the special moments in life, and they make that warm, personal experience their top priority. So they're looking for service out of their service providers as well. And they continue to search for more unique projects and products, vehicles that stand apart, in this particular case, from the rest. These are customers who stand apart. They don't stand out. They want the first choice. They want to be the first choice of a powerful and growing group of consumers. We call these customers culturally progressive customers. And currently today, they make up about a quarter of the luxury automotive industry, which we find really compelling. They're also the fastest growing segment of the luxury segment. So it's really opportunity for us to gain more insight, express our unique views for Lincoln Motor Company to a new group of consumers who are out there looking for something different. And we really think that this is the right time for us to come out with an all-new vehicle in the MKZ and an all-new sense of what the brand is about. The key is today with the Lincoln Motor Company, and hopefully what you saw in the brand video, is that we are looking back to our past, to the days when the Lincoln Motor Company truly stood apart from the crowd, our glory days, if you would. And we're really working to understand what is it that set us apart and made us the kings of the road. And what do we need to be back into that position again today? And really what we found, a couple of things. Lincolns of the past were really known for quality and craftsmanship. These were vehicles that had intricate design details that no one else could offer, and the finest materials used. These vehicles didn't look like anything else on the road. That design was distinctive and imaginative. It was simple, but it was elegant. Again, standing apart. But when you were in a Lincoln, it was about you. It was about the personal experience, about the joy of owning a finely crafted motor car. And we believe that our customers have lost that today. When they go to big box retailers, they've become the number. Lincoln, because of its smaller size, has a unique opportunity to provide a truly boutique personal experience for these consumers and a truly unique and beautiful motor car in the MKZ. Now, we've talked a little bit about the product and the segments. We indicate there's 4 new vehicles coming out. The MKZ is the first of 4 over 4 years. But it's not just going to be about the product that's going to stand us apart. We've talked about these target customers looking for new experiences and constantly searching for something new and unique. And we really think that our dealership experience and our ability to provide unique, personalized service is what's going to stand us apart. In fact, today we also announced our evolution to 3 very unique ways to reach these consumers. The first is a program called Date Night. For qualified customers interested in purchasing a Lincoln MKZ, we'll bring the car to your door. We'll allow you to take a weekend test drive. And just because we value you as a client, dinner's on us. Take the car out, enjoy the night on the town, experience what it's like to own a Lincoln, and really be our guest as you go out and experience that vehicle. The next thing that we're introducing is a program called Lincoln Host. This is an online concierge available 24 hours, 7 days a week. If you have questions, if you want to know what colors are available, or if you just want to know what you might like out of an EcoBoost engine, this individual will be available to you by video, by text, however you want to speak with them before you ever go into a dealership. Once you've decided that you've figured out the vehicle that you're interested in, they'll make sure that you get in touch with one of our sales consultants, one of our dedicated Lincoln sales consultants, to make that transition that much easier to the dealership. Again, it's about a warm, personal experience catered to you and to your needs. Services that aren't offered by other luxury automotive manufacturers. So with that, I hope you're getting a sense of just how far Lincoln is going to change the brand and just how excited we are to begin this journey. What I'd like to do now is to introduce you to one of the 2 men up here tonight who are behind the magic and wonder of the MKZ. The first is my colleague and friend Solomon Song. He is our Lincoln Exterior Design Manager.
Thank you, Kate. Thanks everybody for joining us. My name is Solomon Song. I'm the design manager for MKZ. As a designer, my job was very simple, and yet it was so hard to execute. Because we started out in this journey to create a new vehicle for Lincoln from the ground up. And our philosophy behind this design is elegant simplicity. When things are not needed, they shouldn't be there. If you had extra line that just didn't do anything, it should be gone. They should be gone from the car. So we try to do something that everybody else is not doing, which is taking away the lines that are not necessary by creating a charismatic, stunning, imaginative, and warm vehicle. How do you do that? We have to use the technology that we have today and take it to a full advantage of that. Just to design another car, you're going to see the car later on, but just to design another car to be able to meet up, it's not enough. For me, it was a challenge to even start a design language, even on the Sullivan. Because in the beginning, I wanted a glass roof that moves. But in order for us to do that, you have to design the car around it. You can't just be an afterthought. You said, oh, I'll just put a glass roof that moves after you design the car. Like I said before, it looks very simple. Everybody looks at it and goes, what's the big deal? It's one piece of glass that just moves. But it is so hard to execute it in a way that it looks smooth, it looks elegant, that it was built into it. So when you look at the sweeping lines of the side view, the silhouette, it's designed for that glass roof. If you look at the A-pillar angle, what we call the A-pillar angle, it has to be that angle, because if you detract from it, it actually doesn't work anymore, because the window actually carries glass off. So when you go outside and look at the vehicle, I'll point out some of the key features on that design that nobody else would see. They'll just see a glass roof. They don't see the thought process. And if you look at all of the little details that we put on this car, there's so many. I'll just point out a few things. So if you look at the rear view mirror, it's got a chrome base on We could have put body color, we could have put maybe plastic, but we went to the extra length to actually put the chrome base on it. But in between that, nobody else noticed, other than the owners or the creators. You can see a little sliver of black running between the painted and the chrome. That's actually a turn indicator. So again, elegant simplicity. When functions are not needed, it just go away. If you look at your iPhones or smartphones, when you turn it off, it just goes black. It's simply a shape, and that's how it should be. And to deliver a new vehicle for Lincoln Motor Company, we had to think really hard about our front. Front end actually signifies the face of Lincoln, but we couldn't do it like the old Lincolns where technology we used to use, because for us, it's all about beautiful proportions. And to take the egoing as the backdrop, we wanted to have that slim headlamp to grille ratio. How do we do that? Conventionally, if you put any halogen lamps in it, this lamp would be twice as tall. That defeats the purpose. Then you don't get the right proportion of the idea. So we actually put LED lights standard on this car, which is just unheard of on this. But we didn't do it because we wanted to say it's LED headlamp 100%. It enabled us to design a headlamp that's slim enough to actually match up the grille. And also, if you look at the star, it's brand new. It signifies the new Lincoln. So this is just the beginning of the story. There are going to be many things that I'll point out in the car that you see outside. But those are the things that normally an insider would know. To a person looking at the rear end of the car, that's where you see the car every day. I mean, how many times do you see the front end of the car on the highway? You don't. So we really worked hard to make the rear end as pleasing to the eye as possible. And if you look at the rear end, it can't be any other car than Lincoln with the full width tail lamp, but we can make it just any size tail lamp. So we use the technology again. Everybody uses LED, and yet LED technology was developed so you can make the slimmest and the most efficient light source. But everybody's going big. So we went the other way. We actually took advantage of the technology and made it as small as possible, but very efficient. So when you see it at night, it's dramatic. It's almost like a 1 pixel line on the screen. And it signifies MKZ. And also, if you look at the rear end of the car, Lincoln as a brand, we really wanted to say we arrived. So we didn't want to put a logo on it. What we wanted to say is Lincoln, proudly. So we spelled it out. So when you're following the car, if somebody doesn't know about Lincoln, they'll see it and they'll read it. And they'll say, I need to find out more about this Lincoln. And if you look at the rear end of the vehicle, it's clean and modern because everything that I had to put on that is not necessary, or if it was something functional that I really didn't like, I put it on the bottom where it's not as noticeable. So if you look at the line, it's really clean. You don't have anything distracting the line. And the interior was the same idea. Elegance and simplicity said, you gotta develop an interior that's quite warm experience, but also you gotta make it spacious. And how do we do that? We actually took cue from nature. One of the things that we found out was manta rays when they're swimming, it's just really graceful and elegant. And yet, if you look at that animal in the wild, it's a big size animal, and yet when you see it against the backdrop of the ocean, it looks like it's flying effortlessly. So when you look at the interior, you'll see that all those little touches that went through it. The biggest thing that you'll see is the absence of things in the interior, needless stuff that we can do without because the technology enables it. So shifter was a big thing. BMW, Lexus, everybody has electronic shift, and yet they put a stick on it and waste valuable space. To give you an idea, one of the things that we do when we start a program is we actually do lots and lots of customer research and feedbacks. And one of the things that stood out for me was, there was a young lady in Boston who passed the bar exam, and she just got her first job. And she